All right, welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to yet another Earnings Lottos Power Hour Live. I'm your host, Pete. As always, please remember to like the live, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It lets me know that you are also hitting earnings bangers like me. If you joined the stream yesterday, I hope you took at least one of the plays that we talked about. There were so many good movers. I only got TMDX, but we took the strangle there. We got the 85p. Sold that at about $12 this morning, so already in the green for today. Can't go much worse from there, honestly. All we can do is just hold that or go up for more. There are no L's here in earnings lottos. There is no FOMO. We move on. Adelante. Let's look at the moves for today and tomorrow morning. So first, quickly, we'll just go over what reported yesterday and this morning really quickly so we can take a look at that. LEU, 92 EL score. Yeah, X Project Group Prim was sad. But I think if you strangled Prim, you probably did pretty well, right? The puts paid there. Atom, that stock that I talked about yesterday, making consistent 10% moves, that was down 15.5%. So if you had a strangle there at puts, then you did pretty well. Centris is hitting another 10% move this quarter, so that's good. That'll help its EL score in the future. A-Lab is a chopper, so that is going to hurt its EL score. A handful of others. TMDX, if anyone got TMDX with me, we were eating real nice. I could have held. I should have bought more contracts and then held and sold at this 70 level, but I think I sold at like 74, 70, 75 or something. Either way, a win is a win. Profit is profit. Can't be mad at green. SMCI made a 20% move. Dave a 10% move. SSRM a 13% move. Celanese almost a 10% move. 9.96. Growl a 10% move. Look at all. See, here is the theme. Look at all the high EL scores. Everything above 50, right? We got a 55 here, making a 20% move. We have a 54 here, making a 16% move. We even have this ATEC, whatever ATEC. I have no idea what ATEC is. 54 EL score, making a 30% move. Flywire 52, making a 21% move. The list goes on and on. The EL score works. The method works. Trust the process. Anyways, I'm off my soapbox. On to what we have reporting this afternoon and tomorrow morning. I'm going to go very fast today. I want enough time to play some trades for myself. I won't look at every single stock reporting this afternoon and tomorrow morning. So, X Project Group, you are the man with the plan. If I miss something you think we should talk about, please let me know, and I will circle back to it. My cat is literally trying to open my front door right now. I kid you not. All right, first, let's look at AppLovin, vertically integrated advertising tech company that acts as a demand-side platform for advertisers. I'm pretty sure they will turn your project into an app. That is essentially what they do. $466 a share, about a $50 move in either direction if it does hit 10%. Really nice EL score. Really nice history. Oh my goodness. Really nice history of moves over 10%. 7 out of the last 8 quarters, it's making a really nice 10% move. Narrative intel for app is really hot. Looks like they're estimating 44% year-over-year growth. Mobile advertising platform. Axon 2.0. So maybe they're involved in some Axon stuff. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, this is definitely AppLovin. Mobile ad tech. AI mobile ad tech compounder. Typically moves 10 to 15%. Meta ad confirmation. Strangle is not wanting to load right there. Here it is. 550 call popping out. 18% out of the money up. Twice the amount of volume as open interest. I like this contract price to be bought. And the 400p also 14% out of the money down, both of these expiring on Friday. The 400p is also pricey, and the volume exceeds open interest here. This looks like a classic bot strangle. Little tug of war action. Can't really determine based on this image where app is going. We will look at this in unusual whales a little later, but I think Both of those strikes are good for just straight up bot strangles. Axon, they make all the police body cameras. That's all you need to know about Axon. They are the cops stock. 378 a share, 90 EL score. 6 quarters out of the last 8, it is making a 10% move, which is nice because a 10% move off the current share price is almost about $40. Narrative Intel is hot on Axon. 33% estimated year over year. They make taser weapons, body cams, evidence.com, software as a service for law enforcement. So like I said, it is the cop stock. Law enforcement tech, software as a service compounder, AI investigation tools, and body camera recurring revenue. Beat 4 out of the 4 last quarters, nearing 52-week high. Revenue 33% year over year. All that sounds pretty fundamentally bullish. 450 call getting attention. 18% out of the money up. Both of these sides expire on Friday. $6 is the last contract traded here for the 450 call. That's pretty pricey. Not a lot of volume or open interest, even though the volume does exceed open interest there. This is hard to see what's going on with the 450. I'd say it's probably a mix of bought and sold, majority probably being bought. 350p, this is a little easier to determine what's going on here. 7% out of the money down. Nice pricey contract at 13 bucks. Volume about more than double the amount of open interest there on the chain. I think the 350p looks bought here. Despite all the bullish fundamental stuff here, the strangle, at least in this image alone, looks to me like the 350p is the stronger side here. We might look at this one in the whales a little later. But I would say right now, off the bat, off that image, Axon, the 350p. I bought a IBTA. This one always kind of goes under the radar for earnings moves, but it has a really nice history of making good earnings moves. So 7 out of the last 8 quarters, it's making a 10% move up or down, which based on the current share price is maybe about almost a $4 move probably. 88 EL score, nice high EL score, nice expected move anticipated here. Narrative Intel is interesting for Ibotta to say the least. Negative 1.5% year over year estimated growth. Retail Media Network, Walmart partnership is the anchor here. Instacart confirmed retail media re-rate. Same session, beat 2 of the last 4 quarters. Okay. So they have a bit of a deal with Walmart here, and that could help. That could be the anchor to a potential good move. Beat 2 out of the 4 last quarters. Revenue, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Typically moves 10%. Strangle for Ibotta, not much going on here that excites me. I wish there was more volume and more open interest on both of these strikes. I think this is looking like a good fade, but if I had to pick a side based on this image, I would say the 40 call looks stronger, but nothing really standing out there to me for Ibotta. Fastly, cloud computing company that provides an edge cloud platform designed to deliver secure and optimized digital experiences over the internet. I don't know what that means. Fastly, tech stock, $32 a share, 83 EL score, really nice. 7 out of the last 8 quarters, we're making a 10% move here on Fastly. That would give it maybe 35, so look at the 35 call or maybe the 28.29p potentially. 90-day chart kind of grinding up. A little bit of resistance short term. Narrative Intel, sleeper re-rate here, 10% year over year estimated growth. Serverless compute, AI inference at at the edge is the re-rate narrative. Beat 2 out of the last 4 quarters. Re-rate narrative here. Yeah, so we're on like a turnaround narrative here with Fastly. 35 call getting attention. Lots of volume over open interest. This looks strong to me. I like this. We might have to look. I'm almost liking Fastly right now based off of this image. The 35 call is looking really nice. It's a good contract price, which kind of implies that it's bought. 2,200 contracts over 500 open interest. 25p is just too far out of the money down. This is too cheap a contract. The 25p looks sold to me, so I think Fastly 35 calls could be a slam dunk. We'll look at that in Unusual Whales, but I like Fastly calls for sure. That is so far, that's my favorite one that we've looked at thus far today. Symbiotic, automation tech company that focuses on developing solutions to improve operating efficiencies in modern warehouses. $60 a share, 82 EL score, 6 out of the last 8 quarters making a nice move, 10% up or down. 33% year over year estimated growth. They make AI-powered warehouse automation systems. Walmart is their anchor customer. AI warehouse robotics, blah, blah, blah. Walmart beat history is poor. Execution risk. Revenue 33.5% year over year. Typically moves maybe about 10%. Theme of the week. Check that out. Check out the 67 call here. Sim calls are looking nice to me too. Tons of volume over open interest. This has been the theme of the quarter. Nice contract price implies that they could be bought 11% out of the money, just slightly more than 10% up, but that's fine. I like the 67 call here. That volume dwarfs the open interest. So that again tells us that sim traders were waiting for this day to buy these calls. 55p getting attention, 8.5% out of the money down. Nice pricey contract, 240. Volume not exceeding open interest, but these are probably bought too. This is actually might be a perfect strangle. I might get this a little later. So I like the 67, I like the 55p, but I would definitely lean to the 67 side for sim. Dutch Bros, hipster coffee out west. They make like sugary drinks and think if Starbucks only, well no, Dutch Bros has coffee too anyways. There's just like a very hipster coffee joint out west. $60, almost $60 a share, 71 EL score. 5 out of the last 8 quarters, making a 10% move for Bros, Dutch Bros. Narrative Intel sleeper re-rate here. Nice year-over-year estimated growth, 27%. Specialty coffee drive-through chain. Specialty just means hipster in 2026. Specialty coffee drive-through chain. Unit count and same-store sales are the metrics here. Really nice beat record, 4 out of the 4 last quarters. We've gotten a beat fundamentally for the Bros. Revenue really nice year over year. Everything sounds nice and bullish. People be drinking coffee. They like sugar, especially sugary drinks. I think there's like a weird movement out west, especially in Utah, for like dirty sodas. I just learned about that. They take a soda and they put vanilla creamer in it or something. It sounds disgusting. $64 or 60. The strangle for Bros. We got the 64 call. $1.50. That's a great lotto price. Not even 10% out of the money up. Volume way exceeding open interest. I like that. And the 54p, this just looks like a classic bot strangle to me. Volume is just about the same. Open interest about the same. This could be the strangle to go with Bros. I like Bros for a move, and I think both of these the nice thing about both these contracts is they are less than 10% from the current share price, and they are a good lotto price, $1.50, $1.45. So I like the Bros strangle too. Bros and Sim, Fastly, the three we looked at in the past couple of minutes, my favorites so far. CGNX, Cognex Core provides machine vision products that help automate manufacturing processes. Sounds similar to Sim. $62 a share, 71 EL score, or whatever, Sim or Fastly, can't remember which one was the warehouse. 5 out of the last 8 quarters, 10% move up or down. Really nice narrative intel, even though year-over-year growth looks flat. They make machine vision systems for factory automation. All of that is Rockwell confirmed industrial automation. Rockwell went up on earnings earlier this week. Beat 2 out of the 4 quarters, typically moves maybe 8%. That sounds good. Strangles that are popping up for CGNX. We got the 65 call. Nice pricey contract, 4% out of the money. Volume, lot of open interest. I would say these are bought. The 65 call is bought. And the 55p probably sold, but could be bought too. $1.55, $1.10 range. Volume nowhere near to exceeding open interest there in the put. I think I would fade CGNX if you were thinking about trading it before the stream. I think you're still on the right track. It's got a high EL score, good history of moves over 10%. Just pick the side that you want to lean to and make sure you strangle. But I'm going to fade CGNX. Remitly. They provide integrated financial services to immigrants, including helping customers send money internationally in a quick, reliable, and more cost-effective manner. Oh, this one popped like crazy last quarter. I remember this one because it was very similar to Western Union. $23 a share, 70 EL score, 6 quarters out of the last 8, making a 10% move for Relly. Narrative Intel, sleeper re-rate, 34.5% year-over-year growth estimated. Sends money home for migrant workers, beat 4 of the 4 last quarters. Cross-border remittance compounder, blah, blah, 4 to 4, typically moves 6 to 10%. Strangles for Relly, we have the 25 call. Very cheap, not a lot of volume. There's a nice open interest number. But I don't know what I would do here. I guess I would lean to the put side. I want to see if this 2250 is bought or sold. We might look at that a little later, because that volume number is quite exceeding the open interest number. I guess if I had to pick a side here, I would just pick the 2250 based on that image. But it's not really standing out to me as a good trade. But I guess I'd like the put side there for Relly. Coherent Core develop, manufacture, and market lasers, transceivers, and other optical and optoelectronic devices, modules, and systems, as well as engineered materials for use in the communications, industrial, instrumentation, and electronics markets. All of that to say they make tech stuff. Cool. 343 a share, 66 EL score. 4 quarters out of the last 8, making a 10% move. 22% year-over-year estimated growth. That sounds good. They make optical components and lasers. 800G transceivers for AI data centers. Light and Viav, Fabrinet all confirmed optical demand this week, or last week. Viav was last week. All right. AI data center optical interconnect is the structural tailwind here. Good beat history 3 out of the last 4 quarters. I like Core. I've traded Core in the past, and I like it. It's a fun stock to trade on earnings. 360 call popping up. Very pricey per contract. Volume about half the amount of open interest. 300p popping up. Volume, almost, a little exceeding open interest by a little bit. Nice price. Again, a pricey contract. 460. Don't really know what to make of this. I guess I would lean to the call side here, but I would do that apprehensively. I wish there was way more volume than open interest on the call side. I think Core, I'm not interested in trading Core today. Sunrun, solar company that I don't know how they're still in business. Residential solar, blah, 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 $13 a share, 61 EL score, 12% expected move, 6 quarters out of the last 8 making a 10% move. Keep in mind, a 10% move off of a $13 stock is maybe a little bit more than $1.25 in either direction. So again, if you do trade a cheaper stock and it has a good history of moves, make sure that you get very, very close to the current share price or in the money. That's what I would suggest. Or buy enough time. Go 2 weeks out at least. Narrative Intel sleeper re-rate, 5% year-over-year estimated growth. Enphase did report recently and they went down. That's also the other kind of big residential solar company I think of, and I think solar. Residential solar, Shoals and Solar Edge confirmed the sector. A lot of revenue, 5% year over year. Okay, beat 1 out of the 4 quarters. Kind of sounds a little bearish. 15 call getting attention, 15% out of the money up. Really cheap contract, volume nowhere near to open interest, 1150p. Again, a very, very cheap contract. Keep in mind, because a lot of this is very cheap, some of these could be bought, but a lot could be sold too. 2700 volume to 268 open interest. I like the put here for Sunrun. I think based on the Enphase down after their earnings, I think Sunrun down too. I don't think I will trade it though because it's just too cheap, and there are more opportunities for us today. Root, automobile insurance company. Looks like they're into mobile tech too. I didn't know that, but I always kind of thought of them as like a auto car insurance company. $54 a share for Root, 60 EL score. It's nice. Half the time it's making a 10% move. 24.5% year-over-year estimated growth. All that sounds good. Telematics-based auto insurance, mobile app driving data. Sounds good to me. Telematics, blah, blah, blah. Progressive, hard market confirmed. They have a really good beat history. 4 out of the 4 last quarters, they've gotten a fundamental beat. Nice revenue expected year over year. And Strangle for Root, 65 call, getting attention, too far out of the money up, I think. Although that contract price is kind of teetering on the edge of bought and sold. Kind of hard to figure that out. But if I had to guess, I would just lean to the put side. It's a little closer to the current share price. It's a pricier contract. But I'm not interested in Root based on this image. So I'm probably going to fade the Root. Fluence, we'll look at Fluence Energy, intelligent energy storage and optimization software for renewables and storage, $13.40 a share, 57 EL score, 5 quarters out of the last 8 doing a 10% move. That's nice, 33% year-over-year estimated growth here, making utility scale battery energy storage systems, AI data center backup power. That seems very useful and necessary. 15 call getting attention for Fluence, 13.5% out of the money. Nothing really stands out to me here on this Strangle. I Both of these look very similar to me, although the 13p is closer to the money. I guess I would lean to the put side, although there's just so much bullishness fundamentally with data center stuff. Nothing's really standing out to me there for FLNC, but I guess I would lean to the put side if I absolutely had to trade it. Whirlpool, making a lot of appliance and kitchen and laundry appliances, refrigerators, washing machines, microwaves. But they turned into, I can't remember, it's not coming to me right now, but Whirlpool essentially owns a ton of brands, right? Marketing through various brands such as KitchenAid, Maytag, Amana, Brastemp, Console, Whirlpool, Genair. Okay. So there's a name for this, not a holding company, but there's a name for a type of company that Whirlpool is. Regardless, kind of trash. $55 a share here for Whirlpool, four quarters out of the last 8, making a 10% move. Slayer narrative Intel sleeper re-rate, not the greatest. Year-over-year fundamentals estimated. They make KitchenAid, Maytag, and Whirlpool appliances. Beat only one out of the last 4 quarters. Appliance tariff read typically moves about maybe 5%. Strangle for Whirlpool, 55 call right at the money. Nice thing about these is they are monthlies, so you got about a week and a half to work with. 305 last contract traded here on the 55 call. I think this looks good. This looks bought. Volume definitely exceeds open interest there. And the 5250 likely bought, and probably a mixture of bought and sold, but probably bought too. Volume exceeding open interest here on the put side, but I think both of these, I guess I would lean to the call side, even though I think this is just a fundamentally trash company. But based on this image, I think I like that 55 call. Not enough for me to jump into it, but it looks good. Zillow, everyone knows Zillow, real estate tech company, $45 a share here. EL score over 50, which is nice. 4 quarters out of the last 8, we're making a 10% move up or down. Options data is loading. All right, there we go. I guess we have no narrative intel, but for Zillow, but that's okay. We know all about Zillow. They buy and sell houses and that kind of thing. 50 call getting attention for Zillow. I think Zillow tanked last quarter too. Both of these monthlies. Not liking anything in Zillow. I'm just going to skip it. That strangle did not look good. Sezzle. I get emails almost daily about, I have Sezzle bucks to spend. I don't know what Sezzle bucks are, but apparently I have 70 of them. 83.36 a share for Sezzle, 50 EL score. It does not have 8 quarters under its belt in terms of history reporting. So I think this number is smaller. But it's got a good track record of 10% moves off of earnings. Estimated growth looks like really nice, about 34.5% year-over-year estimated growth. Yeah, they have a buy now, pay later program similar to Affirm. Oh, I guess they are a buy now, pay later, similar to Affirm. BNPL, small cap compounder, beat 4 out of the 4 last quarters. Nice revenue expected, typically move 8 to 12%. Sounding nice to me fundamentally. 95 call getting attention, 270 last price traded here, 13.5% out of the money up. Put side, 75p, 356 last price traded. I guess I would lean to the put side here. It's closer to the current share price, right? 10% versus 13. Volume exceeding open interest. The contract is pricier. So yeah, I would say Sezzle put side, but nothing really popping out to me on it. Right off the bat. ARM Holdings, intellectual property owner and developer of the ARM architecture, which is used in 99% of the world's smartphone CPU cores. Very cool. I did not know that. $237 a share here, up 13% today. 48 EL score, right under that 50 line. 2 quarters out of the last 8 making a 10% move. Not really strong earnings mover. 30% year-over-year estimated growth here. AI architecture royalty compounder. Beating 4 out of the 4 last quarters, all sounding good. Strangle for ARM, the 250 call getting attention. Very pricey contract here. Nice and close to the money, 6% away. Volume quite exceeding open interest. These look bought to me. If you're thinking about trading ARM calls, hopefully this reaffirms your position because that looks pretty good to me. 185p, 22% out of the money down. Too cheap a contract, right? 70 cents. Volume exceeding open interest by quite a bit. But I would, if I had to bet, I would say the 185p is sold. 250 call looks bought. X Project Group, you like Sezzle? You like the calls on Sezzle or you like the puts? The put looked better to me there. What up, Dwight Droney and Bros? I kind of like the Bros. I like the Bros call. Zillow, we already looked at. We looked at Zillow Group. LegalZoom, online provider of services that meet the legal needs of small businesses and consumers. $6 a share, 43 EL score, 5 quarters out of the last 8 making 10% move. Decent year-over-year estimated growth, 5.5%. More involved in online legal, small businesses, AI legal tools, re-rate. All this is very helpful if you are starting a small business and you don't know anything about legalities. 7 call, getting attention. Too cheap a contract for me to be interested. Look at the put. 6p, 5% out of the money down, expiring next week. Very cheap contract still, but it's a very cheap stock, so that makes sense. But the volume is dwarfing open interest here. I think the 6p looks good. Not something that I'm interested in trading personally, but if you were leaning bearish for LegalZoom, I think you're on the right track. Goodyear, should we look at Goodyear? Whatever, I guess we will. They make rubber and tires. Rubber tires. $7.38 a share. 5 out of the last 8 quarters making 10% move. Very small move off of a $7 stock, though, something to keep in mind. 1% year-over-year estimated growth. They make Goodyear and Cooper tires. Tariff exposure here. Tire turnaround data. Tariff cost versus pricing. Strangle popping up for Goodyear. 8 call. Nothing really to call home about. 7p, nothing really interesting there. I think Goodyear, it looks like a good fade. Goodyear is a good fade. Amprius, no interest. Beyond, is Beyond Meat reporting? I didn't know they're reporting today. No interest, even if they are or not. IonQ, let's talk about IonQ quantum company here. 46 share price, 38 yield score, 3 quarters out of the last 8 making a move. 82% year-over-year estimated growth. That's a lot. Narrative intel is not great on IonQ though. Strangles popping up 60 call, 14.5% or 15% out of the money up. Very cheap contract. Tons of volume over open interest. This looks sold to me for sure. 50p. Both of these expiring on Friday. I think the puts for IonQ look really nice. Very attractive. 1674 volume to a small open interest number. I like the 50p here for IonQ for sure. I don't think you have to strangle it. So yeah, I like the 50p a lot for IonQ. DoorDash, $166 a share here. Not the greatest EL score. 2 quarters out of the last 8 making a 10% move. Nice narrative intel, 26.5% year-over-year growth. Largest U.S. food delivery. I don't use DoorDash. I use Uber Eats when I do. Try to do it once a week. Doesn't always work out that way. Food delivery compounder, Dash Pass and grocery expansion. Tariff resilient, beat 3 out of 4. Nice revenue anticipated. 180 call getting attention. 380 contract price, volume exceeding open interest here. Same thing on the put side, volume exceeding open interest. 290 last contract traded there. It looks like a tug of war to me. I guess I would lean to the call side because it's closer to the current share price and a pricier contract, but I am not interested in Dash myself, so I will fade. Snapchat we'll look at. This one makes really weird ear moves every once in a while, even though it's very cheap. 6 quarters out of the last 8 making 10% moves. That's nice, fun, nice technicals there. Not the best EL score though, so keep that in mind. 13% year-over-year estimated growth. Gen Z user base for sure. Social media, augmented reality ads, blah, blah, blah. Meta ad confirmation flows to Snap. Meta did really well, right? Because of their ad revenue. Deeply off the $17 high at about $10. That sounds right. Well, no, we're at 6 now. Revenue 13.5% year over year. Typically moves 8 to 14%. Holy, look at the volume number there for Snap. 7 call getting attention. Very cheap contract. 17 cents, but a ton of volume compared to open interest. 43,000 contracts compared to 17,000 that were on the chain prior to today. Could go either way. They are pretty far out of the money, so they could be bought. Could be a mixture of bought and sold there. 6p getting attention. 34 last contract price traded. Volume exceeding open interest there. I'm not liking any of these. It looks choppy. IV is slightly too high, and we don't have an EL score over 50. So I'm not interested in Snap myself. Herbalife, fade, Sarepta we'll look at really quick because it has a history of making some weird moves. $23 a share, not the best EL score, not really the best history of moves, 3 quarters out of the last 8. Healthcare company, they're making commercial stage biopharmaceutical, focused on the discovery and development of RNA targeted therapies. Sleeper re-rate here, 27% year over year estimated growth. Looks like their gene therapy product is primarily for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. DMD gene therapy commercial recovery. They had a high of 128. Sheesh. Below 30 now. Okay, revenue is good. Interesting. 23.50 call getting attention for Sarepta. Volume exceeding open interest. Very close to the current share price. Expiring on Friday. 20p getting attention. Cheaper contract. Volume exceeding open interest here. If I had to pick, I'd lean to the call side. Not something I'm interested in trading myself. Too cheap a stock and not enough moves over 10% and a very low EL score. But I like the call here. I like this volume to open interest ratio. I like how it's closer to the current share price and a pricier contract. So the Sarepta calls look okay. Cirrus, should we look at Cirrus? Oh, we got a list. Thank you, X Project Group. You the man. Sezzle, MTSI, MKSI. I don't know if I have MTSI or MKSI. I will look though. We're going to fade these. Kratos, no. Fade, not a gram. Chime, no. Cores, we look at Cores. I saw some Cores flow earlier today, so we'll look at it. $24 a share, engaged in designing, building, and operating digital infrastructure for high-density co-location services and digital asset mining. 29 EL score, not great. two quarters out of the last 8 making 10% move. 90-day chart looking nice and bullish though. Volume leaders for our strangles. We got the 25 call popping up. 3% out of the money up. $1.05 last contract traded. Volume about half the amount of open interest. 24p. Holy, look at this number. Do you guys see this? I can't be the only one that sees this. 43,000 contracts compared to 100 that were on the chain earlier before today. This is interesting. I don't know if all these are sold, but we should look at that in Unusual Whales. Let's just do it right now. What was it? The cores. We should just do it tandem, right? I feel like that's how I forget things. Cores. The 24p. They're all bought. 4.6 million on the ask for the 24p on Cores. The 20p is sold though, so they don't expect it to get below 20. I like the 24p with Cores. I don't know what's going on there, but someone with a lot of money doesn't think it goes higher than 24. That is interesting. They're selling the 30 call, it looks like. Yeah, Cores is interesting. We might have to come back to that a little later. I like the Cores puts. All this, no, don't care. Clove, no, don't care. Fortinet, sure, we'll look at this. I saw some Fortinet flow earlier today to the puts. Cybersecurity, platform-based company, almost $90 a share. Not the best EL score. 2 quarters out of the last 8 doing 10% moves. Looks like Narrative Intel's hot on Fortinet. They make FortiGate firewalls and unified security platform. Iran war cybersecurity demand is the structural tailwind here. Nice history of beats, 4 out of the 4 last quarters. Revenue about 14% year over year. Strangle for Fortinet, like it kind of, because we got that small open interest number and a big volume number. So 94 call, 4.5% out of the money up. 284 contract, that's probably bought. A lot of volume to small open interest. Almost the same number of volume and open interest on the put side as was on the call. 81p. $1.39 here, 2,000 volume to about 168 open interest. I kind of like the calls for Fortinet. I think the 81p, these are probably hedges or sold. And the 94 call closer to the money, pricier contract. I like the Fortinet calls. Alabama, no. SM, no. Zevra, no. H&R Block, ugh. Array, API, Cohere, no. Nutrien, blah, blah, blah. All right, I don't like any of these. I don't like any of these for today, right? And none of these we don't want to look at. The blah, blah, what do we want to look at in Unusual Whales really quick? The Fastly. I might just get in my trades earlier. The 32 and the 25. And then we'll look at tomorrow morning. That's not what I wanted to do. 32 and 25. 32. Mixture of bought and sold. Mixture of bought and sold. But looks like more is bought. And then what did I say was the 32 and 25? 25 is bought. Interesting. So maybe this just kind of changed my mind. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know anymore. 32p is bought. Maybe this goes down tomorrow. All right. We'll come back. I'll come back to that mentally. Sim. I liked the sim. Yeah. I did like this one. I liked that 67. Cool. They have monthlies. No, it's weeklies. That's okay. 67 is sold. Look at that. 500 contracts on the bid. That's why we check. That sold. And then the downside was the 60. And the 60 is sold as well. All right, I'm off of sim. I'm very picky. It needs to stand out to me. It needs to really show me its true colors. I think I'm off of sim. Not to say that it still can't make moves. I'm not the arbiter of truth when it comes to earnings moves. Sim, bros. That was the other one. All right, please give me a good look here, bros. 63 and the 54. 63 and the 54. We have weeklies. 63 is sold. And the 54 is bought. Maybe we go bros puts. Maybe we go bros puts. And then what was the other one that we liked? CGNX, no. Core, was it Rally? Was it the puts? No. Core. Did we talk about Coherent? I think I did talk about Coherent. Yeah, no, not that one. Root. Oh no, Run? Sunrun? Oh yeah, Sunrun had the crazy. All right, let's look at this. Bros, I kind of like the bros puts. Yeah, I kind of do like the bros puts. Well, I don't know. We'll come back to it. I'm going to be very, very, very picky today. Sunrun. All right, no, let's just move on to tomorrow morning. I think we're spending too much time looking at this afternoon. Tomorrow morning, ACMR, first one. ACM Research, supplying capital equipment developed for semiconductor industry. $55 a share, nice EL score. 6 quarters out of the last 8, making a 10% move up or down. 28% year-over-year estimated growth. Making semiconductor cleaning equipment for advanced packaging. Seems very useful and valuable. HBM stacking requires ACMR cleaning technology. Sounds good to me. Beat 3 out of the 4 last quarters. 56 call getting attention. Very close to the current share price. Volume not exceeding open interest at all, but a nice pricey contract. The 47p, 15% out of the money down. Volume more than double the open interest. Cheap contract. This probably looks sold. The 47p is probably sold. We might look at this a little later because the ACMR has been kind of like looking at me weird all week. But I guess I would lean to the call side, ACMR. EPAM Systems, global IT services firm with a focus on platform engineering, software development, and consulting services. They used to host large engineer bases in Ukraine, Belarus, and Russia. They don't do that anymore, it sounds like. But it now delivers from various locations across different continents. $107 a share for EPAM, 76 EL score. That's nice. 5 quarters out of the last 8, making a 10% move. Sounds nice. Sleeper re-rate for the narrative. 90-day chart looks down to me. 7.5% year-over-year estimated growth. Primary operations in Eastern Europe and India. IT engineering services. Post-Ukraine normalization. All right. Interesting. 115 call getting attention. Nice pricey contract. Both of these are monthlies, which I like. 7% out of the money. Volume, no, not really a lot. Open interest, not really a lot there. But on the 100p side, we have a nice pricey contract, 370. Volume quite exceeding open interest, 889 to 301. If I had to pick, I would go 100p here. I like that. I like the history of moves and the EL score. So let's just look at it right now. Let's just do it. EPAM. Dwight, you got the Celsius puts? Brother, you wanna short Celsius? Have you ever tried this stuff? This stuff is so good. If you drink one of these, you might not want to short it. I think Celsius owns Alani now. They bought Alani, so they own them. Yeah, this stuff is amazing. So good. All right. EPAM. What was I gonna? We were gonna look at the 100p and the something else. The 100 and the 115, 100p, all on the ask. Woo! We might have to get some EPAM puts. In the money call sells. Yeah, what are they pairing it with? They pairing it with the 125? I mean, the 125 maybe a little bit. I like the EPAM puts. Let's see what that contract chart looks like. But I might get the EPAM puts. I like the monthlies. Is the 95, let's see if the 95p has any good liquidity in it. A couple $1,000, not really anything crazy. 100p looks okay. What's the EL score on EPAM? Is it Noise in Hoy? Yeah, it is. You know what? I'm going to do an EPAM 100p, and then I'll pair it with a EPAM 125. I'm just going to do that right meow. CRL. Dwight Kirkland has their number. You think Costco is going to buy them? Costco could buy Celsius. That's an interesting... I kind of like that. I kind of don't disagree with that. Does Kirkland make good energy drinks? I don't have a Costco membership. I'm a bad American. And then the call for EPAM. All right, so I'm just going to do the straight up strangle for EPAM. 100p, 125 call. We'll see what happens there. All right, back to Costco has new energy drinks. Dang. Might have to look into that. I might have to ask my brother to get me some. All right, GigaCloud, GCT, end-to-end B2B e-commerce solutions for large parcel merchandise. About $45 a share for GCT. Nice EL score. 5 quarters out of the last 8 making a 10% move up or down, which would be about 4-ish, maybe 5-ish bucks. Strangle for GCT, nothing really popping out. Needs more volume. This is such a small little volume number compared to the OI. Too far out of the money on either side. I'm not liking it. Looks choppy to me. 4, Shift4 Payments, independent provider of software and payment processing solutions in the US. They are expanding internationally. $43 a share for 4, 72 EL score, nice history of moves over 10%, 5 out of the last 8 quarters. Narrative Intel is a sleeper re-rate, not the best year-over-year estimated growth. Massively off the highs here. Wow, they make payment processing for hotels, restaurants, and sports venues. Interesting. Hospitality payments, revenue negative 36.5 is accounting change. Okay, so that's just noise. Strangle for 4, we got the 55 call, very, very cheap. Too far out of the money up. These look sold to me, although there's not a lot of volume or open interest, but it looks sold, I think. 40p, a little bit more realistic, 7% out of the money down. $1.75 contract, volume. I wish it was exceeding open interest, but I guess if I had to pick, I would say 440 puts. The 40p's for 4. 40p for 4. Did you get that? The 404p's. Hope you got that. Jumia, very, very cheap stock, $7.42 a share. They are JMIA. They are the Amazon of Africa. African e-commerce platform. $7.42 a share, 59 EL scores, 7 out of the last 8 quarters making a 10% move. That is a great history, but keep in mind that's maybe like a 70-cent move, so not very great. Strangle for JMIA, 750 call. Very cheap contract, volume about the same as open interest. 7 put popping up here, 6.5% out of the money. I don't like anything here. I just think these contracts are too cheap. Looks like a tug of war. They're very close to the current share price, both of them. I think that's a good fade. I have no interest in trading it otherwise, but it's just too cheap a stock for me. Isn't that Weight Watchers? Yeah, Weight Watchers International. But I guess they don't want to be Weight Watchers anymore. They're WW. Weight management providing clinical solutions in the United States. Why don't they have a GLP-1? Shouldn't Weight Watchers have a GLP-1, right? Primary sources of revenue are subscriptions for digital workshop and clinical offerings. I don't know. Kind of like, why would a company like Weight Watchers still be around if you got GLP-1s? Like, why do I need a fitness app or like a diet management app, right? Like, oh, what was that? Like not Mary Kay, but what was the other one? Marie Calendar? I don't know. So many of those like healthy, they gotta just be like, take it, like, you don't have to do that anymore. All you have to do is just shoot up with some Ozempic. 1161 a share price, 59 EL score, 5 quarters out of the last 8 making 10% move. Keep in mind that's about like $1.10 in either direction. Not the best narrative Intel. Yeah, 13.5% or 14% year over year growth down. Directly disrupted by GLP-1 drugs. Thank you. Weight loss subscription service, GLP-1 disruption casualty, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I mean, GLP-1s are just going to destroy this company. If they don't make a change, they're roasted. 1250 call popping up for Weight Watchers, 6.5% of the money up. Both of these sides suck. Nothing looks cool here. 10p is too far out of the money down, not enough volume. I say this is a complete fade. I wouldn't be surprised if one of these quarters Weight Watchers comes out and either they rocket up because they have some pivot to the GLP-1 craze. Maybe they come out with their own GLP-1. Maybe they get purchased by the GLP-1 company, or they just tank. But that is definitely going to happen on the heels of an earnings report for sure. TripAdvisor, world's leading travel meta-search company. $11 a share price, 58 EL score, 6 quarters out of the last 8 making a 10% move. Nice history there. Not the greatest narrative Intel. Not really good estimated year-over-year growth. Travel review platform, Royal Caribbean, Booking, Uber confirmed travel demand. So there is travel demand. Although nothing here looks fundamentally bullish to me. And the strangle for Trip, 1150 call, very close to the current share price. Too cheap a contract. If I had to pick a side, I would pick the call side just because it's closer to the current share price and it's pricier, but this looks like a nice fade to me, nothing really popping out. AAON, don't know much about this company. Manufacturer of air conditioning and heating equipment, so HVAC stuff. I'm sure that touches data centers at some point in their life cycle. AAON coil products and BASX, those are some of their segments or products. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. $99 a share, almost at 100. 57 EL score. 4 quarters out of the last 8, making a 10% move up or down. Narrative Intel, we have a sleeper here. 20% year-over-year estimated growth. Makes commercial HVAC and precision data center cooling systems. Sounds very valuable and useful. Data center cooling HVAC typically moves maybe 5%. Strangles for AAON, we got the 105 call, 6% out of the money up. Both of these are monthlies. I really like that. This call side looks bought to me for sure. The put side looks bought as well. I think that makes sense given we have an EL score over 50. I think it's okay to strangle this, buy both sides. But if I had to absolutely pick a side, I'd say the 105 call looks stronger. There's more volume than open interest for sure. And it's a pricier contract. AAON calls I like. Iova, we'll look at this one. A very, very cheap share stock, but we have a perfect history of 10% moves. So, but keep in mind a 10% move off of $4 is about 40 cents. So not the biggest stock move, but it would be 10% nonetheless. EL score 50. Narrative Intel for Iova, sleeper re-rate. Looks like really nice year-over-year estimated growth, 56.5% year-over-year estimated. Their flagship drug looks like it's called Amtagvi. Amtagvi, first TAL therapy approved by the FDA for metastatic melanoma. Oh, skin cancer, okay. TL cell therapy melanoma, revenue 53.5% year-over-year from launch. Dilution concerns the overhang, blah, blah, blah. That's the kind of the fear that you have with cheap stocks if they are going to dilute it. Share offering concern there. Pharma Week confirmed cell therapy beat 2 out of the last 4 quarters, typically moves maybe 8 to 12%. Strangle for Iova, 450 call. Whoa, look at the 4P. Tons of volume compared to open interest. That looks strong. I like the 4P on Iova, the 450 call. A little cheaper, a little further out of the money, but the 4P is looking strong, right? We have that classic theme this quarter of a massive volume number and small open interest number. If you wanted to trade Iova, I think you should lean to the put side for sure, but you should definitely strangle that. Contour Brands don't know anything about this. KTB Lifestyle Apparel Company, design, manufacturing, procures, sells, and license apparel, footwear, and accessories, mainly under the brand names. Oh, so they own Wrangler, Lee, Helly Hansen, so they're a jeans company. I gotcha. $73 a share. Wait, does Levi not have... Oh, I thought I read Levi. Wrangler, Lee, not Levi. So this would be Levi's competitor. That's funny. 73.67 a share, 54 EL score. 4 quarters out of last 8 making 10% move. Not the best narrative intel. 25% year-over-year estimated growth. That looks decent. They make Wrangler and Lee jeans. Tapestry confirmed apparel demand this session. Denim workwear, TPR confirmed apparel. Okay, tariff exposed. Nice little history of beats. 3 out of 4 quarters. Revenue's good. Okay. Strangle for KTB, nothing really popping up. I don't like, there's not enough volume or open interest on the call side. I guess I would lean to the put because it's a pricier contract and there's more volume NOI, but I'm going to feed KTB for sure. Let's look at Shake Shack. Should we, X Project Group, if you have any that I should look at for tomorrow morning, please let me know. I know you mentioned Charles River. I think I have that on this list. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe Charles River. We can look at stuff in Unusual Whales though, if I don't have it on the list. We were going to look at Shake Shack. Wait, should we look at Appian? Business process management. Appian platform is an integrated automation platform providing tools for organizations to design, automate, and optimize end-to-end processes, blah, blah, blah. $22 a share for Appian, 52 EL score, 4 quarters out of the last 8, making a 10% move. Nice year-over-year estimated growth. Low-code process automation, government digital transformation here. AI workflow re-rate. Revenue is nice year-over-year estimated. Strangle for Appian. Not liking these at all. 30 call is too far out of the money. 30% out of the money up. Although it is a monthly expiration, it's too cheap a contract, not enough volume. I think Appian's a good fade. Nothing really popping up to me there. Shake Shack. Roadside burger stand. What? Roadside burger stand? That's how they market themselves? They want... Like, they're not. It's a whole restaurant. It's a whole restaurant. That's weird. Why would they call themselves a roadside burger stand? You ain't no roadside burger stand. You're like a restaurant, like a hipster restaurant for burgers. That's what you are. I should write Shake Shack's description. Shake Shack is a hipster restaurant for burgers. All right. $96 a share, 51 EL score, 3 quarters out of the last 8, making a 10% move. I would rather eat Five Guys burgers myself, but that's just me. Narrative intel is hot for Shake Shack. 15.5% year-over-year estimated growth. Blah, 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 blah. Premium fast casual. See, you could have said that. Premium fast casual. You're not a roadside burger. See, upscale burger alternative. You're not roadside. Get out of here. Beat 3 out of the last 4 quarters. That's good history. Blah, 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 blah. McDonald's and QSR confirmed restaurant sector this session. I really want a cheeseburger. Maybe I'll get a cheeseburger tonight. 105 call popping up for Shack. 8.5% out of the money up. I don't like these at all. Nothing really standing out. The 84p does have way more volume than open interest, but those are probably sold. 13% out of the money down. Cheaper contract. So I'm not liking Shack. I think the 84p is sold there. Tapestry, let's look at TPR, parent company of accessories and fashion. They own Coach. And I think I thought they owned like another kind of like luxury brand, but Coach is their big one. 148 a share. 50 EL score right at that line for your boy me. 3 out of the last 8 quarters making a 10% move. Nice narrative intel. Looks like people are still buying them Coach bags. Oh, Kate Spade, that's what it is. Make a Coach, Kate Spade. Estee Lauder confirmed China prestige beauty demand. Same affluent customer buys Coach. Yeah, okay, we know. Ferrari confirmed luxury spending this session. All right. Luxury accessories. Yeah, so really nice narrative intel. 11% year-over-year estimated growth there. People still be spending a lot on purses and handbags. 160 call. This is looking, we might need to get Tapestry because the 160 call looks nice and bought. A lot of volume compared to a smaller open interest number. 90p, 39% out of the money down. Very, very cheap contract. Not a lot of volume or open interest, but these are most definitely sold. Let's look at this really quick in Unusual Whales. We'll find out if where that 160, did I say the 160? Yeah, where the 160 is coming from. We got monthlies, which is nice. The 160 is all bought. Is there any, let's see, the 155 is being sold a little bit, but a ton of bought there. And the 90p, was it the 90 that, 90's way too far out of the money. So these are most, and yeah, like, am I going crazy? Is there just not enough put volume? There's just not enough put volume for it to find anything from today. So the last, like right 272, that was the last highest OI in volume for the put side. I think TPR calls look really nice. What is this? 60 call. Is this bot? Yeah, it's 4 mil there. I think we should buy TPR calls, guys. You want to buy TPR call? What up, Biblical Brunch? ARM. I think we looked at ARM earlier. I can't remember what I liked there, but I'm about to buy some TPR calls. If you guys want to buy some TPR calls, you don't have to strangle it. It's right at 50. I'm probably going to strangle it. Did we say they were 15s? They are 15s that we were looking at. Oh, I was looking. Oh, yeah, anyways, they are 15s. TPR does have weeklies, though, too. But it's interesting to... Right? Do they have weeklies? Yes, they do have weeklies as well. But what is showing for us is the May 15th, which I like myself. Any weeklies standing out as interesting strikes? The 150, the 160. Yeah, okay. So let's get May 15th. 160s. And then we will do a one. What's going on with the 135s? Yeah, that's what they're using to hedge. Or I wonder if we can just do one this week. Yeah, it's my 135. Well, there's a lot on the put side too with TPR. See, look at this. We got a 172K on the 135p for this week. But I think I don't know. There's a lot. This is a little weird. See, this is what happens. I overthink things for sure, but there is just so much call volumes and no side. All right. You know what? Just shut up and buy it. So the 160 call. The one for May 15th is what I'm going to get. And then we'll do the weekly 135. The kids are home. P. Yes. All right, so I got the EPAM Strangle and the TPR Stronglay right now. So yeah, I like the TPR calls there. DDOG, Datadog, cloud native company focused on analyzing machine data. 142 a share, 48 EL score, 3 quarters out of the last 8 making 10% moves. Nice narrative intel, 25.5% year-over-year estimated growth. Blah, 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 blah. All this is looking good. They make cloud observability and monitoring. Every AI workload needs Datadog to monitor GPU utilization, model latency, and inference costs. Sounds important. AI cloud monitoring. Every AI deployment needs Datadog to monitor GPU costs. I literally just said that. Beat 4 out of the 4 last quarters. Sounds really nice. Sounds very, very bullish. Fundamentally, holy crap. We got to get some Datadog calls, potentially 165 call popping up, 226 a contract, 15% out of the money up. But look at the volume number to the OI. 6,500 contracts compared to 113 on the chain prior to today. Versus the 130p, probably bought as well. This is one of those where you could go back and forth on whether or not to strangle it. But let's look at the 165 call. I'm curious to see where, yeah, D-Dog. What do you think about that X Project group? What do you think about the D-Dog? The 165 call. 165 call is a mix of bought and sold. There's a lot of liquidity there. The 130p. Little mix. Looking a little a little uncertain. Some in the money put sells. I guess I would lean to the call side. Not quite sure if it gets that, what was it, like a 15% move. But for what it's worth, there is a lot. Yeah, the 190 is being sold. So we don't anticipate it going higher than 190. The 180 got bought though. Look at that. 184K on the 180 this week. The D-Dog calls might be pretty good. If you were thinking about trading D-Dog and you liked the call side before, I think you might be still on the right track. There is some uncertainty, but there are some pretty chunky big orders on out-of-the-money calls. Keep in mind, there are some, like we saw the 150P in the money. There are some in the money put orders. They're not massive. This one's 12, 9K. So yeah, comparatively, the call side is looking better for D-Dog. Celsius, let's look at Celsius really quick because Dwight said he was going to trade it. Celsius owning Celsius, Alani, Rockstar. Oh, they own Rockstar too. $32 a share here, 43 EL score, 3/4 of the last 8 making 10% move. 90-day chart looks bearish for Celsius. 35 call popping up, $1.16 a share. Volume does exceed open interest here. Not too far out of the money. 30P getting attention on the downside. Volume dwarfing open interest. 8,700 contracts compared to about 2,500. That 30P is looking like the stronger option there. Dwight, did you? Yeah, Flex went crazy. You're right, X Project Group. Flex went absolutely nuts. Celsius with the 30P. Where is that going? That looks bought to me. No side. I want to say that's probably bought. And the mid here, 201, that looks pretty good. So Celsius is definitely looking like the puts are the better option there. Yeah, big order here for the in the money put, 34.50. So yeah, I think the puts, Dwight, I think you're on the right track. If you said you were leaning to the put side, I think, yeah, 29P, I think you're okay. 29 I think is okay. It's keep in mind, I've only gotten a 10% move 3 times out of the last 8 quarters, so as close as you can get to 32 is obviously the safer move, but you do you. Unity, $27 a share, making yeah, they do like the video gaming stuff. I know they make like the Tiger Woods PGA game because I play that. $27 a share, 42 EL score, 4/4 out of the last 8 making a 10% move. Narrative Intel is really good, or not really good, but it's a sleeper re-rate for you. 15% year-over-year estimated growth. They make Unity game engine and 3D simulation. Blah, blah, blah. Game engine, 3D simulation, industrial digital twin re-rate, AI content creation. Used to be $52 a share. Now they're about 27. Strangle for you, 29 call popping up, 5.5% out of the money up. Both are monthlies, which is nice. Tons of volume and open interest. That's wild. I was not expecting to see that much volume or open interest. On the put side, we got the 27P. Volume way dwarfing open interest. That 27P for sure looks bought. And just for curiosity's sake, let's double check. What was our EL score on you? All right, so it's a little out of my range, but the 27P is interesting. Sold. It's all sold. Well, there is some bought at the mid today, but the majority of it was sold. So maybe, and we got sold on the 28 call here, pretty big. I don't know. There is some bought in the out of the money puts for you. This is interesting. Not a lot of. So we got a big sell. Some on the ask for you. This is looking bearish. What would be the bearish case for you? HWM. I don't know what the bearish case would be for you, but look at the 28P's got a ton on the ask. So yeah, you looks definitely a little bearish. I'm just kind of curious what the contract chart looks like for that 27P, but nothing there is looking really good. Weeklies. 4, yeah, we looked at 4. It looked like, I think I said the put side looked better there. Just at least in like the earnings Lottos strangle. Yeah, the U puts actually look nice. I might get, yeah, they actually don't look bad. Might come back to it. Oh, we only have like 13 minutes. Jeez, I gotta go fast. You, Peloton, not care. I don't care about Peloton. Planet Fitness, no. Warby Parker, no. Cars, blah, blah. Anything here? Vistra, X Project Group. Anything I should look at? ARW, McDonald's, no, I don't care. Krispy Kreme, don't care. I don't really care about any of these. Let me go to my search. Bah. What'd you say? ARW? Not this, right? Is it one I don't have? It might be one I don't have. Might be small volume. HLM I don't have. Four. Yeah, I guess the four put looked a little bit better, but nothing is really popping out. We got the 55 and the 4. The 55 looks sold for sure. This is a big sell candle. 728 on the bid. This is at the ask here. 660 contracts. 40p. The 40p is all bought, except for this is on the bid. I don't know. Little too ambiguous for me on 4. I'm kind of not interested in that myself. All right. Anything else we should look at in unusual whales a little closer? Should we look at? Let's check back to app and see if anything else new popped up here. The 550 and 400. See, if something like app, there is just going to be so much flow in it that you can pretty much guess in either direction. All right, it's a 550 call. It's bought. There's some that's bought here. There's also some that's on the bid. 400p. I think we got to be picky today. 400p looks sold. So I guess I would lean to the closer to the money calls for app. Let's look at Axon again really quick. 450 and 350. These are too expensive for me. Dwight eyeing the Fortinet. Oh yeah, the Fortinet did look good. Let's look at the Fortinet strangles, because that one I thought stood out to us a little bit. Yeah, look at that 94 call. 94 call is nice and bought for sure. And then our down was the 81. 81's bought too. They're strangling it. The 81, there's a lot. 330k on that ask there. Any in the money call stuff for Fortinet? Yeah, the 77 here's got some. No, nothing really. 1,000. But there is some on the OI. It's sold. I don't know. This is a little weird one. 88p is being bought. Be careful, Dwight. I would grab like an 81p. Just grab, if you're gonna, like, you might as well just strangle that. I mean, I don't think it's a high EL score, but yeah, I would just be getting just a little apprehensive on going all in on the calls there, especially on the 100. I think the 100's too far away. I mean, there is a lot of liquidity there, though. Again, I am not the arbiter of truth when it comes to earnings moves, okay? I'm not like a professional trader over here. I'm a professional degenerate gambler. I kind of like the Fortinet puts, but it's too low. I think it's too low of an EL score for me to get in. But yeah, I don't know. Every once in a while, that stock Fortinet does go dumb. It does go a little crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I am not liking anything on the Fortinet for myself, but you do you, Dwight. If you have conviction, then go for it, bro. Anything else? Snap, nah. IonQ, didn't IonQ have something interesting? Yeah, look at these. IonQ 60 and 50. I didn't even know. When we first looked at IonQ before, I was like, oh crap, I didn't know that it was reporting earnings. They are. I guess I black out over the weekend when I do all this stuff. 60 call and 50p. 50p is bought for sure. 60 call is a mix. This is sold. In the money call is heavily sold. What does the 50p look like for, can I do this? How do I, hold on, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this. I thought it was, okay, maybe I don't know. I can't figure it out right now. Isn't it like new movie? Yeah, I don't know. All right, I was going to share my phone screen, but I can't figure it out right now. I don't want to spend time doing it. IonQ. IonQ, we liked the puts side better. I got Australian for a second. 50p. Come on. Contract chart looks bad. Not to say that it can't work, but yeah, I don't know, nothing really. That doesn't look good. What is a 60 call? I mean, the 60 call looks better. The contract chart looks better, but yeah, I think that's a fade. I think IonQ is a fade. I don't know what this volume is. That's a ton of volume compared to a very small open interest number, but I don't know what that is. That's got to be a hedge of some sort. But if IonQ tanks, then you know why. IonQ, Beyond Nope, Dash, Snap, Nope, FLNC, Whirlpool. Anything in Whirlpool stood out. 55p. 6 minutes left. HWM. Let's look at how met for your boy X Project real quick. Any moves over 10? 1, 2, 3 moves over 10%. How met? We got weeklies and we got weeklies. Why didn't I put this down? I don't know how I missed this. Sorry. 280 call. Nice and bought. Mixture of bought and sold. How met looks bullish. The 275 calls being sold here for about 17K, but that's not a lot. In the grand scheme of things, the 257.50 is being bought. That's an in the money put. The 265p is being sold. And a lot of out the money puts are being sold for Howmet. 270 call next week is being sold heavily for Howmet. I don't know. I'm not liking that one personally, but if you have conviction, X Project Group, you are the man with the plan. You do it. Whirlpool. Did I already look at Whirlpool? No, I looked at Howmet really quick. Whirlpool. It was the 55p bought and sold. Wish that was just a little easier to determine. Other side bought and sold looks choppy to me, but this is all on the ask. The 50 and the 5250 are all on the ask for reply. This is on the bid. All right, I'm off of it. Anything else? Sezzle. Let's look at the Sezzle Strangle, the 75 and the 105. I got 5 minutes. Sezzle bucks. Who's got Sezzle bucks to spend? 80 call, nice and bought. That's bullish. 75p. I would say the majority of this is sold. Sezzle calls are looking better. 105 call is nice and bought. Is the 110 bought? These are monthlies. What does that look like? Because I like the Sezzle calls. Sezzle calls. Monthlies I really like. The 110 call is what I would or the 105 maybe. I kind of like this Sezzle call. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to get a Sezzle call, an apprehensive Sezzle call here, the 110. What is our move history for Sezzle? Yeah, I didn't think that they had... Yeah, so they only reported 3 quarters. Look, they're 3 for 3. 3 for 3. Sezzle doing the May 15th. Let's go closer than the 110. Let's do the 105. And then I'll do, because it does have a high, it should have a high EL score, right? It's 3 for 3 on 10% moves. Let's get our put. And I think the 75p is probably okay. Got 3 minutes to do it. No, let's do the, this is all in the bid. I don't like the 65p. The 70, I might have to pay up, honestly. 75p. X Project Group, are you going to strangle Sezzle? He always strangles. That was a stupid question. Someone just hit the 75p for 50 contracts. They're all on the bid. I'm just going to do the 70p. Even though the puts look terrible. You know what? No, we'll do the 65 just to spend less. I have no conviction on the put side, but I always force myself to get a strangle. All right. I got a Tapest, a TPR strangle, EPAM, and Sezzle. That's a lot for me today. All right, that's all I got for today. Any, oh, what was our earnings pick'em? CoreWeave. Oh, I think CoreWeave is tomorrow, so we got time. Okay, I am really looking forward to trading CoreWeave myself personally. But that is it for today. We will end it there. About 60 seconds to go for the end, or for the close. If you guys took any trades today, I wish you the best of luck. Like I said, I'm in a few myself, so we will roll the dice and see how they turn out for us tomorrow morning. I will be back here tomorrow, hopefully around the same time. We got a lot tomorrow that I'm excited for tomorrow afternoon earnings, actually. I think that I just have a weird feeling it's going to be a weird Bitcoin move Thursday into Friday. And I will be there for that with Coinbase earnings. So please tune back in tomorrow, 2:45 p.m.-ish Eastern. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you again for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day. Peace, everyone.